Welcome back to North of the Broad. I'm your host, Karen Wyman, coming to you from beautiful downtown Beaufort in Low Country Produce. I'm joined this afternoon by Robert Merten, the Cookie King. Welcome!
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Excellent. We're happy to have you here, and I know we're going to talk all about cookies. But first, tell us about your journey about making this book come together and your experience with cookies.
Well, I started at 9 years old in the kitchen with my Italian grandmother. And I think I was very, very, very fortunate at the time. I didn't know how fortunate. And I actually wrote my first recipe at 10, my first original recipe. And while I have gone through life developing my cookie recipes, my versions of all of the classics, because there are everybody's take on them.
Absolutely.
And ventured into many different areas in my life, it has always been my cookie baking that I was known with my family for, and friends, and it has been my type of therapy that I come back to. Cookie baking for me has just been a part of my life. Most often it was done late in the evening, alone in the kitchen. To me, it was reflective time, and I became so passionate about it that my goal was to fit every flavor into a cookie, any dessert into a cookie, any cake into a cookie. So you're looking at getting all those complex layers that are usually found in bigger items into just a great little bite-sized morsel. And I think cookies have really, because of mass market brands and store brands, baking a cookie at home has really fallen off the wayside.
And become a thing of the past.
It has, and I think that it's a bonding thing. I really would love to see kids, no matter what. I just had a great email from someone who was 7 years old, and I would like to see kids back in the kitchen with their parents, their grandparents, especially at the holidays or to mark special occasions. Just bake a batch of cookies and sit around and eat them.
You know, I have to say one of my favorite and all-time memories with my grandmother was that she made the best, what we consider to be the best chocolate chip or Toll House chocolate chip cookies.
Yes.
And nobody could ever perfect her recipe. Many of us have tried, but I understand where you're coming from and how that time is so special. So talking about and mentioning that as you did all the different recipes, are all of them in here original recipes that you've written?
They are 50% of them are original recipes. The other 50% are classic recipes that I have adapted over the years to what I feel is the perfect balance in the cookie. They're not overly sweet, they're not overly salty, they don't have the hint of just one flat note of one extract or one item. It's amazing that when you bite into a cookie, that off of your palate you can get several different flavors from this little item. And I have really strived to make each and every one of them unique, especially since we're working with classic things like chocolate chips or peanut butter chocolate chip, or a lot of the Italian specialty cookies, which I grew up with, which everybody claims is their original recipe. I really tried over the years, and I think I have succeeded, to make my recipes unique in that when people read them, they say, "We can't believe you put that in the cookie."
So this is definitely what sets Cookie King apart from other cookies, other recipes.
I think so. I think the originality of it and the whimsy of the title, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So Cookie King contains several savory cracker recipes. That sounds really interesting to me. I wish you had some samples with you because I'd love to have some of those. Do you consider those to be cookies?
They are cookies, and you know, I actually devote a whole page to the sweet or the savory. Can we all just agree and get along? The only difference is they're savory, they're not sweet, and not every cookie was meant to be sweet. I mean, when you go into the savories and the crackers and you get an appetizer and a dessert that you can have with wine and cheese that balances out a meal, for the people who really don't love sweets. And I think that more often than not, when I have them on a buffet and people are picking on them, they don't even realize. They're like, well, I'm gonna start with the cookies first, even though they're dessert. And when they bite them, and they're like, well, that's unexpected, because if you bite lemon basil shortbread or you bite into a garam masala cookie, then you're getting those cocktail flavors, especially when it comes to the cheeses, which I do many of. There's many versions of cheese crackers that are very, very satisfying, and I don't know anyone who, in my home, who has ever turned them down in lieu of a sweet cookie.
Right, so of course before we sat down here and started talking, we talked about don't trust anybody who doesn't drink coffee or drink wine, right? So you've got the cookie to go with the coffee, you've got the savory crackers to go with the wine. And what are your expectations for the book? We know you're going to have a launch party pretty soon. Tell us what your expectations are for the book.
I think all of my expectations for the book put in one simple would be that families get together and bake the recipes the way we did when I was young. I know that's a different time, but I know that the family unit is becoming stronger, and I know that more kids are into health. And remember, when you bake at home, you're controlling what you put in it. You're using the better ingredients, you're using organic ingredients. So I'm encouraging parents and grandparents to get in the kitchen with the kids and instill this in them so that they take it with them. It's just a healthier life.
So turn the TV off, put your cell phone away, get out your rolling pin and have some fun in the kitchen. Before we wrap up this afternoon, where can people buy, where can viewers buy the Cookie King?
The Cookie King is available right now on our website, cookieKingBaking.com, and it will be available next Wednesday at our launch party at Saltus River Grill on Wednesday evening at 6:30. And the website is up and running, and the orders have been flowing in, and we're very thankful for everyone. Very, very happy with the reaction. Beaufortonians have been great. I really can't stress enough what it's like. I grew up in a very ethnic, small community, and you lose that when you go to big cities. And living in Beaufort now these last 10 years, you find that there are family units, there is small town, it is appreciated, and everyone, including my wonderful, wonderful neighbors who were forced, these last couple of years to be taste testers.
Horrible job,
They
right?
have really rallied around, and the support of the other business people and the local community has been astounding.
Right, that's so nice to hear. Well, we wish you luck with the Cookie King and at your launch party. I look forward, without a doubt, to getting some samples, taking them home to my family. So thanks for joining us here on North of the Broad. This wraps up this edition of North of the Broad. Thank you so much for watching.